per the forced draft, the smoke doesn't come to the person who is cooking. It deflects to the side. So that was one of the projects that is being deployed. This is an emergency. What are the different components of the pallets that we have tried?
So we have used bio pellets like from the agriculture waste and even from the wood waste and everything. And we have done the pellets. And this is a standard from the Nivea National Institute of
Walk, there are ways to make them walk, but the hand doesn't recover. That remains paralyzed. And now a person who's been active, right? We have a game where you're squatting mosquitoes. So things which people can relate to. We are making those kind of games.
Surveillance have been from India, and we are still working on getting the motors and rotors developed in Bangalore. There is a company that we're working with. So these two have been developed here. Now we'll
degrees of freedom. There's a scale model there, but they move only 20-30 degrees in any axis. So we decided to solve it by having a full 360-degree rotations around all three. 1.5 tons. We want both axes from Air Force and Navy, setting us up for an MPQ minimum value. There is axial.aero is on the website. Yeah. So the pilot is inside. It has helicopter and fighter controls. We've extended this design to find the patents for a hypox accelerator as well as a centrifuge. Everything we speak is upwards of 30 to 50 crores, some sims reaching even 1,000 crores. We have some specific extensions of this with our partners for vehicle simulations. Car manufacturers use advanced motion simulators to manufacture vehicles. I'll show some of the use cases in our presentation later today. It would be interesting to use those, especially when with autonomous driving.
And my dear colleagues and our assembled media people, it is my pleasure and my privilege to welcome you on behalf of T-Works, which is India's largest prototyping center and manufacturing knowledge partner. So this is a role we have been consciously building towards since over 1 year now. And our objective is that at T-Works, our mission should go just beyond the facilities. So we are operating across different verticals, that means engineering and fabrication, electronics, defense innovations, as well as testing certifications. The concept is that industry and innovators should be able to access knowledge, infrastructure and support, which we need to move from concept to market. That is why today we have requested all your presence, and we are very grateful to see our industry leaders here, because as we know and we have been discussing with you that we would love you to co-locate your R&D and engineering efforts here, so that we become an extension of R&D for you. We understand you have your own R&D teams, but at the same time, when you come here, you have understood that we can help to take the invention from TRL 5 to TRL 9 on a much faster basis. That is why we would like to help you to support your Make in India dreams and ultimately enable the manufacturing ecosystem of the country. So we are not the manufacturers, but what we will be doing is working with you, developing the products and then enabling the ancillary units, the manufacturing units to take it and go forward. With this, I would like to say that today's gathering is a very important step in our journey. And once again, I'm grateful to all of you for being here. So I will request now Mr. Vivek to speak, and then all of you to kindly introduce yourself once. Thank you very much.
Incubate the Make in India theme, basically Atmanirbhar Bharat. The minister is here, our chief guest is here. Aerial arrow you had seen from a perspective of bringing MRL 4 to an MRL 8 innovation. And that's where you can take that innovation back to your industry. So I would like everyone to introduce themselves very quickly because we are running short of time, but very quickly, and then be vocal about maybe a kind of a sentence around what your problems are. But before that, I would like the minister also to give our chief guest also to kind of give his views, what he's thinking nationally from India perspective, because it is not about Telangana, it's about India, making India as the center for innovation, center for R&D, center for engineering. That's what his thought is, and I think he's thinking in the next level when we met him last time. So I would like let Sri Sanjay to speak first. And
R&D industry leaders. Okay. Very good afternoon to all of you. One, apologies for being late here because there is some unscheduled meeting. And from here also I'll be leaving latest by 1:40. So I'll keep this talk short because I would like to listen from your side. That is more relevant for me. Only a couple of observations that Telangana's industrial development, everybody is aware. We are supposed to be one of the third or fourth most industrialized states when you take the per capita in the industry presence. But there we have seen that when it comes to manufacturing sector, still Tamil Nadu is by far, from any standards, is sitting at the top of the pecking order. Since you people are here, one, I would like to listen that what makes Tamil Nadu so special when it comes to manufacturing. I mean, is it the availability of skilled manpower, or is availability of conducive policies, or is it a lack of port? Lack of port appears very obvious, but same was the situation when the state was combined as Andhra Pradesh. So that cannot be the only reason, because why we have not gone to that level. Second part regarding tea works, we proudly say that it is one of the largest prototyping centers, but its R&D part, which we need, to showcase to all the industries that we can do R&D also. But at the same time, I suppose that every industry must be having its own in-house R&D facility. So there's twin objectives. What I want you to respond. One, where does Teamworks fit in when it comes to R&D and prototype vis-a-vis the industry where in-house R&D facility? What kind of value addition or what kind of synergy Teamworks can bring with the in-house R&D facilities of the industries? Second part, how to make it more relevant, because our mandate is not only limited to the geographical boundaries of the state. We would like to become a national organization. We would like the national R&D problems of industry to be given to us where we can do value addition. So here also I would like to know your opinion. As such, the way T-Works is operating, because I am new to this post only 3.5 months before I joined. But the kind of progress is neighboring T-Hub has made. How to achieve that kind of success when it comes to prototyping in R&D part. So these are the things. If I want to listen to you, I can give a long talk, but that will not be. As an administrator, I have come here to get some inputs to make T-Works more useful. So that with this talk, I will request everybody to, whoever wants to respond, please respond. If required, I'll come in between the speak again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shushanji. I would like whoever wants to speak.
Before that, my colleagues are confused. I'm neither minister nor chief secretary.
I'm very sorry.
Only special chief secretary for industry and IT department, and there are around 5 or 6 special chief secretaries in the states. I thought I'll clarify. Thank you.
I'm very sorry. So I would like press your mic, introduce yourself quickly, and speak up. I think you have every industry, every person who is coming here has given Sanjay his thoughts about what he wants. So what you have already echoed, we have collected and consolidated that. But you'll want to hear directly from the horse's mouth. So let the industry leaders speak. Our industry innovation council leaders, including Dr. Sanjay, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Sanjay from sustainability, and then Sanjeev ji, who's coming from electronics and semiconductor. Right? So they all are here to support how, like you said, how we want to take T-Works into value, how we can take T-Works to collocate R&D and engineering. That's the theme, and they have been much glued into the theme in terms of on an approach, basically. So please press the button. At different parts. So what we have done is that we've really looked at the industry to see where we want to go. As an industry, we are still at a very nascent phase. But Telangana, of course, is doing very well. But we need to do many things, which to take it forward. To do that. So as part of keywords, we have identified some areas where we can work. As you asked, I don't know whether they have my slide there. If they can show me only one, just to identify that we have identified at a national level about 11 areas to focus on, with the Ministry of Civil Aviation as well and the MODs as well. And some of them are common to other industries. Like we may have to have additional, capabilities along with T-Works. That's something, we can take that forward.
because today aerospace, we are very small in the global supply chain. We are only 1%. But in the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be a significant growth globally, and India can actually take that opportunity. But we need to be prepared in order to take that opportunity. That's what I wanted to show. You able to? It's coming. Yeah, all right. Okay. So that's good. I don't want to go through many. Just one slide I wanted to show to say if you put that in okay, so this is one, we have identified at a national level about 10 or 11 areas, to really focus doing a lot of build to print, including the big companies like Tata's, for example, areas we are focusing, how do we do that? And there are some ideas we're discussing with T-Works as well. We have, startups like J Aerospace here, with whom, we are looking at saying, how do we really, try and incubate this? That's one of the areas we are looking at. The second area is manufacturing excellence in terms of how do we, as we talked about the TRL. Yeah, please.
A very important focus areas for Telangana state. So this designing part, what you said, it's quite interesting. So one or two examples.
Yes, we can do that.
Because we have already earmarked land only for aero defense sector.
Yeah.
Close to the airport.
Yeah.
So this sector we are looking at with a lot of expectation, because we have got MRO for Safran military engine aircraft.
Yeah.
Then civil already is there, Tatas are there. Yeah. So this part is missiles and all, anyway it's happening. Yeah. We have got all the defense public sector undertakings. There, in designing part, I feel that as far as knowledge partners are concerned, we have. Probably we may be having sufficient technical manpower. I'm not sure the people are experts. So how it can, T-Works can fit in, maybe just one or two examples.
What's happening is that today, most of the suppliers are taking the design coming from outside of India and then manufacturing. So what we need to do is that there are specific areas where we need to bring industry, academia, as well as the government together, really to push that. If I take an example, avionics design or systems design, there are lots of companies who want to do, but they don't know that in order to have a center of excellence, here in T-Works, to start promoting the design activity. This is one of the areas we want to explore, to see how. So, and then there are a few other areas, raw materials at a government, central government level. The fourth point, unfortunately, it's not coming out well there. It's a common facilities, which we are looking at. Some of it can be done with T-Works, but some others need to have an adjacent facility. Like, for example, specific aerospace. For MSMEs, they can't invest in the testing facility or surface treatment capabilities and other things. I understand from Ministry of Civil Aviation that there are facilities in Shamshabad. If you move to that, there are several others, which are at the central government level, like the regional transport aircraft, which you probably heard, and other things. But the third area, which we really want to focus on, is the one at the last right, which is the employee executive development and aerospace skilling. We need not just the blue collar skilling, we need white collar skilling as well, and at some stage even at the executive level. This is some
skilling is definitely expensive, but we do need that, skilling, or I would say upskilling and reskilling of the executives or the employees at the organization or the establishment level. And all these latest technologies, we have now, if I would say, we have the infrastructure for it, but if there is no upskilling of the employees, this will not work. I'm sure the industry will relate to this. And we are working as here as Sector Skill Council, we're working with the industry bodies to get this done. So definitely we'll bring in industry for that, and we can do this in collaboration with T-Works.
How many institutions we have in?
Really speaking, this is the first collaboration we have done.
Let's prepare an action plan and phase it out. Start looking at that.
As a first step, we have already signed MOU with TCS. We have signed it. We want to get exchange today. Okay, we will do that. Paucity of time.
Next section.
I'm Sanjeev Keskar. I was continued MD of 5 American company, National Semiconductor, AMD, Motorola, Arrow Electronics, and last 5 years I'm running my own consultancy to support startups and MSME, and I'm ex-chairman of ISA. Can I have my slide, please? Sir, electronics and semiconductor industry is really going through a very exciting time and one of the fastest growing industry in India. Means India, which used to contribute 5% of the global electronics, by 2030 will. What Telangana can do? Yes, so I'm coming to that directly. So yesterday, in fact, Joginder sir, Vivek, me had a very good session about what T-Works can do in this revolution of electronics and semiconductor. Sir, three areas we have identified. Firstly, automotive electronics and electric vehicle. Okay, there is lot to be done in this because today most of the electric vehicle ecosystem for battery management system, motor control, or everyone is talking about localization, local support for the solution, utility meters and solar inverter, renewable energy. That will be another area we'll be focusing. Sir, we will not focus on mobile phone, IT hardware or telecom infrastructure because that industry I don't think will ever come to India. We will continue to do kit assembly for Apple, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi or Dell, HP, Acer, Lenovo. I don't think that ecosystem will evolve. But three areas what we identified: firstly, automotive electronics; secondly, industrial electronics; thirdly, aerospace and defense. And what we are going to do, the critical need today of this industry, sir, is about value addition. Sir, today we are doing only assembly job, electronics manufacturing services with 10 to 15% value addition. And when the industry will go to $400 billion, if we continue at 15%, our recognition will be only 60 billion. So T-Works is going to address this challenge. How we can improve the value addition in electronics. And the major value is into IP and technology and product innovation. Today we have great talent. 20% of the semiconductor design manpower.
Very novel concept is the automotive electronics and other kind of electronic talking. Since already we had 1 day session, we discussed with my team for a day. So as an administrator, my task, I would like to know that to take this experiment or initiative further, what we have in house, how much capacity addition we need to do, and in case we need to do some capacity addition, how to identify the resources. Just shed some light, that would be great.
Secretary, what today those startups we are in, so we have decided we will create a good mentor pool. Secondly, test and measurement equipment and characterization and certification. If they have to export to Europe or US, what all certifications are required? T-Works will enable those validation as well as certification so that those startups are successful. So we have identified 2 or 3 because then you need very highly specialized area for that. And can you have expertise for everything? We can work for general things which are industry agnostic. So I don't feel we have to be really worried about this thing. Second is that when we look at automotive of tomorrow's aero, this will be only 10 or 12% of entire GDP of the country. Today it is 7% auto and it looks like it is nothing else but auto. And EV, which is not even 0.01% of that, we believe everything is EV. So I think there is 93% left. And how can knowledge of these areas can be used to help other Indians to progress and take to next level should be thought.